there exists a profound truth that lives within the human heart, one that becomes most apparent in the quiet moments when we are left alone with our thoughts and memories. It is the truth that some connections transcend the ordinary boundaries of human experience, creating bonds so deep and meaningful that their absence reverberates through every fiber of our being. This is the story of such a connection, of love lost and found, of growth born from pain, and of the transformative power of genuine human connection. In the silence that follows a meaningful relationship's end, there emerges a haunting presence that refuses to be ignored. No matter how desperately they try to distract themselves, no matter how many activities they fill their days with, or how far they attempt to run from their feelings, your essence continues to permeate their existence. Your memory has become an integral part of their consciousness, woven so deeply into the fabric of their daily experience that separating themselves from thoughts of you feels impossible. It is as though a fundamental piece of their soul has been carefully extracted, leaving behind a void that perfectly mirrors your shape and presence. This emptiness is not merely the absence of another person, it is the absence of home, of belonging, of that rare understanding that comes when two souls recognize each other across the vast expanse of human experience. They find themselves constantly drawn back to the sanctuary of shared memories, reliving the moments when your smile illuminated their world, when your presence provided comfort that no other source could offer, and when the emotional bond between you created a sense of completeness they had never known before. The passage of time, which is supposed to heal all wounds and fade all memories, has instead served to crystallize your presence in their life. Your energy lingers not as a ghost of the past, but as a living, breathing reality that refuses to be dismissed. It inhabits the spaces between their thoughts, the pause between heartbeats, the moment before sleep when the mind is most vulnerable to truth. This presence is both beautiful and tormenting, a constant reminder of what was and what could still be. As they navigate through their days, something remarkable begins to unfold before their eyes. They start to witness your transformation, your evolution into a version of yourself that commands both admiration and a deep, aching recognition of what they have lost. You are no longer the person who once looked to them for validation, who sought their approval or depended upon their love and attention for a sense of worth. Instead, you have emerged as someone who stands with unwavering confidence in your own truth, someone who has learned to find strength not in another's acknowledgement, but in the depths of your own being. This metamorphosis is both awe-inspiring and devastating to witness. You have become an individual who walks through the world with purpose and intention, focused not on what others can give you, but on what you can create for yourself. Your self-worth no longer fluctuates based on external validation, it has become an internal flame that burns steady and bright, illuminating not only your own path but inspiring others who have the privilege of witnessing your journey. The sight of your growth serves as a mirror, reflecting back to them the magnitude of what they carelessly discarded. There is a growing weight of regret that settles deeper into their heart with each passing day, a recognition of the profound carelessness with which they handled something so precious and rare. They are forced to confront the painful truth of how they took your love for granted, treating it as something that would always be there, something they could ignore or neglect without consequence. The memories flood back with startling clarity, the moments when you tried to share your deepest thoughts and feelings, only to be met with distraction or disinterest, the times when you needed their full presence, but they were emotionally unavailable, locked away behind walls of their own making, the countless instances when they failed to prioritize your connection, treating it as secondary to other, seemingly more pressing concerns. They can see now, with the brutal clarity that hindsight provides, just how unfairly they treated you. You deserved respect, attention, and the kind of love that shows up consistently, day after day. Instead, they offered you fragments of themselves, pieces of attention, conditional affection that depended on their mood or circumstances. What should have been a partnership built on mutual respect and genuine care was undermined by their own immaturity, their arrogance, and their inability to be emotionally present when it mattered most. The universe, it seems, has a way of bringing balance to all things. Karma, that ancient law of cause and effect, has begun to weave its way through their life with poetic precision. They now find themselves experiencing the same emotional confusion, the same heartache, the same sense of loss and uncertainty that they once caused you to endure. The tables have turned, and they are now on the receiving end of the pain they so carelessly inflicted. While you continue to rebuild your life with intention and grace, focusing on your passions, pursuing your goals, and creating a reality that reflects your highest values, they find themselves trapped in a cycle of wondering and questioning. Do you still think of them in quiet moments? Is there a part of your heart that holds space for what you once shared, or have you moved forward so completely that they exist only as a distant memory, a chapter in your story that has been closed and set aside? Their thoughts have become consumed with the weight of possibility, with visions of what could have been if they had possessed the wisdom then that they are only now beginning to acquire. They are starting to understand that perhaps your paths were meant to intertwine, that fate or destiny or whatever force governs the mysterious workings of the universe had orchestrated your meeting for reasons that transcended their understanding at the time. But their stubbornness, their ego, and their resistance to vulnerability and change created barriers that ultimately pushed you away. They now comprehend that the connection you shared was not ordinary or easily replaceable. It was rare and deeply meaningful, the kind of soul-level recognition that most people search for their entire lives without finding. The realization that they destroyed something so precious through their own unconscious actions fills them with a grief that words cannot adequately capture. In their solitude, they have begun to withdraw from the world around them. Social gatherings that once brought joy now feel empty and meaningless. Friends and activities that previously provided distraction now serve only to highlight the profound absence in their life. They find themselves preferring the honest company of their own thoughts, even when those thoughts bring pain, because at least in that pain there is truth, and in that truth, there is a connection to you. Their mind has become a workshop where they constantly tinker with possibilities, crafting scenarios and conversations, imagining what steps they would need to take to make things right. They rehearse words of apology and explanation, seeking the perfect combination of honesty and humility that might convey the depth of their transformation. They desperately want to find a way to show you that they are no longer the same person who hurt you, that they have learned and grown and changed in fundamental ways. Your absence has created more than just loneliness, it has opened a void that seems to expand with each passing day. This emptiness brings with it anxiety, sadness, and a sense of helplessness that they have never experienced before. The fear of losing you forever, of never having the opportunity to love you the way you deserve to be loved from the beginning, is something they can barely comprehend, let alone accept. You were never just someone they dated or spent time with. You were their safe harbor in the storm of life, their confidant, their true love. The bond you shared represented something they are now terrified they may never find again. This realization tears at the very foundation of their being, leaving them questioning not just what they have lost, but who they are without the possibility of your love in their life. The desire to reach out to you burns within them like a constant flame. They want to explain everything, to lay bare their heart and soul, to tell you that they see things clearly now with eyes that have been opened by loss and longing. They want to express the depth of their sorrow, their regret, and their willingness to do whatever it takes for another chance to love you properly, completely, and with the reverence your heart deserves. But alongside this burning desire lives an equally powerful fear. The fear that it might be too late, that your heart has already moved on to create new connections and new love. The fear that the damage they caused might be irreversible, that some wounds cut too deep to ever fully heal. This fear paralyzes them, creating an internal war between the desperate need to act and the terrifying possibility of final rejection. Yet even in the midst of this fear, they cling to hope. Hope that somehow, through their actions and their commitment to growth, you might see the sincerity of their transformation. Hope that the person they are becoming might be worthy of the love they so foolishly took for granted. Their heart holds one truth that rises above all others: you are the person they love, the person they were always meant to cherish and protect and honor. Losing you has become their greatest regret, a mistake that echoes through every aspect of their existence. All they want now is a chance to make things right, to show you that love can be transformative, that people can change, and that what you shared was too beautiful and rare to remain forever in the past. Whether or not you choose to let them back into your life, one truth remains constant and unwavering: your impact on them is permanent and profound. Your love has left an indelible mark on their soul, and that love, that memory, that possibility will live within them forever, continuing to inspire their growth and their journey toward becoming the person they were always meant to be. The path forward remains uncertain, filled with questions that only time and courage can answer. But in their heart, they carry the certainty that loving you, even from a distance, even in memory, has been the most meaningful experience of their life. And that knowledge, painful as it sometimes is, continues to guide them toward a version of themselves that would be worthy of the extraordinary gift of your love. In the end, this is more than just a story of lost love. It is a testament to the transformative power of genuine connection, the way that loving someone deeply changes us at our core, and the hope that exists even in the midst of profound loss. It is a reminder that some connections transcend time and distance, continuing to shape and inspire us long after the relationship itself has ended. And perhaps, in that continued growth and transformation, lies the seed of possibility for redemption, for forgiveness, and for the kind of love that transcends past mistakes and embraces the infinite potential for human beings to learn, to grow, and to love more deeply than they ever thought possible.